the camera.
The following program comes to you in color.
Welcome across the country and around the world. You're watching Runway DFW After Dark on a very windy March 18th, a Tuesday. We are here at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport to bring you airplanes in the wind. So stick with us, will you, for a couple of hours of solid entertainment from one of the world's busiest airports on Runway DFW After Dark. Well, we don't have our usual setup today because of the wind. We've only got two cameras. This one over here, which is I'm going to say a disposable camera. Not disposable, but it's our cheapest camera. If it gets knocked over in the wind, well, you know, that's that. We don't have our regular microphones today. We don't have, I guess I can tell you more things that we don't have than we do have. I tried to set up our ATC over in the car and transmit it over here, but I didn't have time to finish setting it all up and making it work, so we're ATC-less on this Tuesday evening. So bear with us. We do have, in lieu of ATC, we've got Flight Radar 24, which we haven't had before, to show you kind of a look at what's happening here. You can see how many planes are here right now, and we've got Kalitta Air. Well, that came in. Did that come in? Yeah, that already came in. That Kalitta Air 777 cargo plane. We've seen that a few times. In fact, that's featured on our thumbnail today. Well, if you have your sound system hooked up, I would advise you to turn off the bass, because we just have all sorts of wind noise for you today. So if I sound a little discombobulated, it is only because I'm not working with my regular setup today. We do have over there next to me, Texas Girl is back from her epic journey to Indianapolis. So we welcome her by our side over here. The other thing that's different today is the lens on this camera. I'm working with a little different lens. This was our original nighttime zoom lens, and I switched to it today because we only have one camera, and this goes a little wider than the one we've been using. The problem for me is that the zoom knob is in the other direction, so when I want to zoom in, I'm accustomed to going this way. No, I'm accustomed to going this way to zoom in, but now I have to go this way. So I think I'll I think I'll figure that out. So we'll try to keep the pictures as unshaky as we can, but that wind is having an impact on us this evening. I'll tell you more about it here in just a second when I can consult my weather information. Let me lock that down. Hello.
Howdy, Walt.
It's good to see you.
Hi.
It's been a while since you've been here.
We got in at 3:30 today.
From Ireland.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got to be on the top deck of the A380. That was a lot of fun.
That was cool. I'm talking to Jennifer Rutherford here. She just got back from, let's see, we'll put her on, can't see her very well, but there she is behind me. Wave. You've got your St. Patrick's Day. So you were in Ireland for St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah.
Well, that must have been very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
What was the highlight of your trip?
Just being over there,
Just being over there?
trying not to fit in too much with the American tourists.
Yeah. Did you have good weather?
Oh, yeah.
Great.
It was sunny and perfect.
Good. Well, Jennifer says she had sunny and perfect weather whilst in Ireland. So that's exciting. She said, I don't know if you could hear it. Probably not because of the wind. She was on the top deck of the A380 on the way back on the British Airways A380, which you'll see here in the background momentarily. There it is. It may have gotten in a little late today, so maybe it'll go out. Well, I mean, it will be going out on our shift here unless there's some issue that we do not know about. So let's see, what was that just took off? Well, it was American Eagle Flight 4190 to Killeen. And there it goes. The wind is relentless. Let me take a look. We've got a 20-mile-an-hour wind coming out of the south. So we're in south flow today, which is good for us witnessing arrivals. And here comes an arrival. I believe this is arriving from Killeen, Texas. Now I know how Kevin at Wellington Flights Live feels. He deals with winds like this all the time. This is probably nothing to him. Now, the other thing I don't have is access to... Oh, we have a go-around. Let's see if we can find it. There it is. So we'll be able to identify that for you shortly. Everything's super bouncy today. Well, we can tell you, thanks to our Flight Radar 24 technology, that was American Flight 2635 from Ontario, California, an Airbus A321. Going around. I don't know if we can tell what was happening on the runway. I think it might have been because this aircraft had not exited the runway in time, at least in the judgment of either the pilot or the air traffic control, or both. Oh, so let me at this time Try to say hello to you guys because I'm not set up. Huh. Oh, there we go. All right, there's Josh Aldrich, one of our mods, and Quadjet channel members. Toga. Tanman 3880 says hello from our nation's capital. Brian Henry says, so okay, we have 2 flights from Avianca, San Salvador, and Bogota. Very nice. I think that's Bogota's. That'd be a new one. That United Jet a United Express going to Houston, number 175. Adam Drawbaugh says hello to you. Heidi Martz greets us from way up there in Montana. Hello, Heidi. So here's our backstage camera tonight. I've got it mounted pretty low to the ground, so if it topples over, it won't be a problem. Another American Eagle E-Jet coming in on Runway DFW After Dark. Hoo-wee. We have a pair of tri-jets. So there's 6 engines in one shot, or at least most of that's as wide as I can get with that camera, so that's all we can show you of both of them at the same time. The one on the left has its cargo door open. Okay, so good to see you. 3:30 in the morning? Ooh, Texas girl taking her leave. So say goodbye, Texas girl. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Thanks for stopping by. Huh?
I said have a good night.
Thank you.
Careful driving home.
I will. You too.
Oh, yeah.
Leo Garcia says, good evening, Walt, and everyone on Runway DFW. What a windy day here in Dallas. Indeed. We have a super chat from our channel sponsor, James Webb, of 200 smackaroos. Thank you, James Webb, for that kind donation to our cause. As most of you know, James Webb is our channel sponsor here at Runway DFW, and he really has made a big difference in what we're able to bring you as far as the quality of our presentation. But don't go by tonight's broadcast, because we're operating under duress tonight. Well, you can't have everything. Just happy to be with all of you. Flight radar 24 telling me that this is American Eagle 3510 off to Lubbock. It's an Embraer 175. Lubbock, Texas, that is. It's here in Texas. Gusty, says Doug Houston. Houston. And Jennifer Rutherford, who had just stopped by to say hello, says, I'm in my car eating my much-needed Whataburger after her sojourn to the Emerald Isle. Sounds like a fun place to go. Trident Ken says, good evening, Walt and all. Thanks for a great stream. Well, I'm reserving judgment on the great stream part of it so far. Here comes a flight from Fargo, North Dakota. It's another American Eagle E-Jet and Embraer 175. But as I said, I'll have to consult with our friend Wellington Flights Live to see what tips he can give me for windy weather broadcasting, because he does that all the time there. And also to Kevin and to Mrs. Wellington Flights Live, all the best, because Kevin came down with COVID after his trip to the Australian Spotter Fest over there in Sydney, and then his wife came down with it as well. So best wishes for them for a speedy recovery. Well, I know Kevin was on the air again, was it yesterday, I think, or the day before? So he must be feeling a little better. So did we identify that? No, that was American 2267 off to Kansas City, 737-800. Terry M. with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Terry. Hi, Walt. Always enjoy watching from West Michigan. I appreciate that. Adam with the weather says wind speed 26 miles per hour out of the south with gusts to 36. That feels about right. I am guessing that wind of that velocity adds a bit of extra interest to our friends over there at UPS as they're trying to load up that plane and all the others over there. Don't have any 747s here tonight as far as UPS goes. But as I said, we do have two MD-11 tri-jets. Joey Chan says, good evening. Hello to you, Joey. Kevin says, good evening, Walton Runway DFW. Family, love this channel. Thank you. And again, I do apologize for our kind of scaled back presentation tonight. Here's the look at Flight Radar 24. The airport there is in the middle with that blob of all those yellow planes on the screen. We're on the left side. We see where that blue dot is? That's where we are relative to everything else. So we're on the west side of the airport. We have nothing in line to take off right now. Let me look, see what we've got coming in. We've got American Eagle 6485 from Waco, Texas, a CRJ 701ER. That'll be next here on Runway DFW After Dark. And there's our first look at the shrubbery tonight. I've got everything tonight except for our secondary camera scaled back to one single tripod. I don't have, as you might have been able to see in the background scenes, I don't have our usual picnic table tonight all set up. I was really afraid it would blow away in the wind. I didn't want to present too much of a profile tonight, so we're just operating everything off of one tripod, which is loaded down with 10 pounds of weight in addition to 2 heavy batteries to try to keep it from toppling in the breeze. And again, this camera is very low to the ground, so if it does go over, and it too is weighed down, but if it does go over, I don't think too much damage will be incurred. Let's see, can we see any of the flags tonight? Let me see if we can see some flags so you can get some idea of the wind velocity here. Okay, so our camera is now pointing to the north, so the wind is blowing away from us, and there's the flag poles here at Founders Plaza, and they're kind of bouncing around a little bit, aren't they? Ascending Dragon 1 are the official American Eagle pilot of Runway DFW, says, Walt, with winds like these, as long as it's down the runway, you should still be able to make, put that on again, should still be able to make a stabilized approach, with the caveat that you still have to correct for possible airspeed loss on final. And Cheeto Production says, hello, Runway DFW. Thank you for this late evening stream in the wind. Is there any crosswind to deal with? No, it's pretty much these runways here on are pretty much north and south. I don't know what that sound is. What is that sound? So the planes are flying directly, almost directly into the wind, which is, the optimal situation, I think, if you're a pilot. Next arrival, American Flight 2496 from Portland, Oregon, an Airbus A321. And there it is. And this is the Stand Up to Cancer livery. We have a new video for our members. It'll be member exclusive for about a week. All it is about a minute's worth of a time-lapse recording of me setting up for last Saturday's extravaganza here at the airport. I was able to do that in about 43 minutes, I think the clock said, from start to finish. That was American 3124 headed out to McAllen, Texas. I should probably show you something rather than the blank sky. We have American 2635 coming on in from Ontario, California next on Runway DFW. It'll be an Airbus A321. If you're just tuning in, once again, I apologize for the lack of air traffic control radio. I just couldn't get that thing working today with our somewhat limited setup. And the wind kind of drowned. They do have ATC here broadcast at the airport over loudspeakers, but good luck hearing that in the wind. You can see there American Flight 2807 coming in from Bozeman, Montana. It's a 737-800. And we are looking for it now. Alex says, I miss old American planes with the AA on the back tail. I do too. I do as well. But of course, American has preserved one of those aircraft, painted in the retro livery, as well as one from actually there are two American Airlines retro liveries. One is called the Astrojet, which is the older of the two, and then there's the one with the AA on the tail, and then there's an American Eagle retro livery as well. And those all feature the aluminum skin, the unpainted look, which was really pretty cool. Jennifer Rutherford, who, as we learned earlier, came in from London after journeying to Ireland. She said her landing was very bumpy. I think I can understand why. Honor Wimbry, one of our young friends and viewers, says, hey Walt, I'm on flight American 575 tomorrow, 5 a.m. flight. Whew. And what you're looking at there is UPS flight 751. It is off to Louisville on a 767 freighter. Almost brand new. It's Cloudy. Hello, Cloudy. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you. How you been?
I'm good.
You haven't flown away yet?
Haven't flown away yet. I'm kind of very weighed down
Tell me
tonight.
about it. Yes. Smart idea to put this there.
So Cloudy is AA AA Pilot Wife on Instagram. Are you on other socials?
No, that's all.
Okay. Well, you're the queen of Instagram to me.
Thank you. I was waiting for the 380 to take off, but she's letting me hang tonight. So
Do you have a departure time for that?
She was supposed to go out at 7:30.
Well, yeah, I know that, but
She,
still there.
It's not here, so
So,
my luck.
no, you didn't miss it.
Not yet.
Josh Aldrich says hello. There's Kai, one of our mods, says, hope you are all well. We certainly are. Rich Carlisle up there in Indianapolis, or in Indiana, not Indianapolis, says, good evening, Walt and everyone. And El Toro 66 with, yes, it's... I won't wave so it's not blurry. Claudio's taking a photo of us with her camera. There's Cloudy right there next to me. But yeah, be sure to check out her fine work at AA Pilot Wife on Instagram. And there's Jennifer back from her dinner. How was your Whataburger dinner? How was your Whataburger dinner?
Much needed.
Can you read this?
I'm watching Runway DFW and hear you, yes.
It's Anna. She says hello.
Oh, okay.
Anna Hagen. She's probably one of your fans too. So.
Well, thank you. Jet Setter Bound 747 says, hey everyone. Magoo Manor says, what is that black cloud? Is that in the background of our... I don't know, it's just the evening sky here in North Texas, that's all. Here goes this relatively new 767 freighter. And because of the way it is oriented, looks like it'll be taking off here on the west side of DFW. There's a look at the planes that are hanging out here tonight. Honor Wimbry says, man, this is Riz. And I wouldn't even know what that was if it weren't for my 8-year-old grandson who uses that term frequently, although I don't know if I could define it, but I think it means good. I hope so. All right, we got a flight coming in from Laredo, Texas. It's American Eagle. It's an Embraer. Embraer 175, flight 3823, American Eagle. Smoke and Slice, one of our mods and channel members, says, Walt, thanks for the English lesson. I didn't know what it meant. You've got children who should know what that means. And Josh Aldridge says hello. Hypercosmic says, hey, Walt, I was in Dallas a couple of weeks ago for a vacation. Super nice. I went to the plaza and saw you, but you looked busy, LOL. Well, I always look busy, but I would encourage anybody who wants to say hello to do that. I would say try not to tap me on the shoulder while I'm following a plane into the air. That'll startle me. But if you can get kind of in, not on camera, but in my eyesight range and wave, that's probably the best way to say hello. Rachel Dally Hug says it looks like there's a A380 pushing back. Cool, British Airways. And that is it there on flight radar. Confirmed. It's already turned around, pushed back, and getting ready to come our way. I hesitate to go in this far on the Zoom because it's just going to be pretty bouncy, but there it is. No, I'm not nervous. That's just the way things look on a night like this. Andrew Templeton says, where did it go? Evening, Walt. My dad is bound for Buenos Aires in an hour up there. Hey, I hope we'll be able to bring that to you. I think we will. We usually do when we're here. There's a look over towards downtown Dallas and the East Tower here at DFW Airport. Houston Aviation says, hey, Walt, do you have any ideas how I could start streaming at Houston Intercontinental Airport? Well, I don't know. I've never been there to stream, so I don't have any practical tips for you. But, to start streaming, I guess my recommendation would be to get a camcorder because they're cheaper. They have longer lenses. They don't work so well at night, generally, which is why we don't use them at night anymore.
Do you know her? That's Anna, the dispatcher.
Yeah.
She's the one saying hi.
Oh, Anna was saying hi. Okay.
Yes, she was saying hi.
So Cloudy was telling me that on Instagram, Anna the dispatcher was saying hi. So, hello, Anna. We heard from your husband as well. Anna was off to Ohio, I think, to visit a nephew, as I recall. And I don't know if that's still a trip in progress or what, but good to see you, Anna. Anna's also a member of the channel and also a moderator here when she can squeeze that in among her regular duties. So there goes the UPS 767, headed now to Louisville. As we yes, it is windy. Windy it is. Hang on. American flight number 1832 coming in from Denver, an Airbus A321 here on Runway DFW After Dark. Oh, hello, Honor. Well, I saw you on the chat. And I thought, I didn't know you were here.
Yep. I was actually over there looking at airplanes.
Oh, over there. Well, there's Honor Wimbry, one of our young fans. So you got to get up early tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
Where are you going? Can I ask?
I'm going to Charlotte.
Charlotte. Okay.
You know that flight American 575?
Do what?
You know that flight of American 575?
Right. Oh, that's right. You said. Well, I didn't know where it was going. That's so. Okay. Well, I hope you have a great visit to Charlotte.
Yeah. If you're wondering what Riz is, it's just something like Grand Ride.
I think I was on that flight. Mrs. Runway DFW and I changed planes in Charlotte. And I think we were on that 5 a.m. flight.
Well, I went to Turks and Caicos. Hey, remember 3 years ago I texted on your channel. I said, hey, well, I'm in Turks and Caicos. Remember, it's November 20th.
I don't remember things like 2 weeks ago, so I apologize. I'm old, so but
we did a secret stream one time called the Secret Stream. We started at 5 in the morning.
yeah.
And I text, hey, well, I'm in Turks and Caicos. And then, yeah, I left November 18th. Well, it's not this one, the end. I wake up in the morning, though.
Well, there goes one that got away there. That's American Flight 937. That's a 787-8 Dreamliner going over the bridge on its way to Rio de Janeiro. So it's going over to the east side for that. We have Texas Girl to thank for, I believe, some gifted memberships. I'm gonna, because my screen here doesn't tell me that. I've got to consult. Why isn't this going sideways? Okay, so let me see here.
I got a question.
So Texas Girl has gifted 10 Runway DFW memberships. So once again, thank you, Texas Girl. Our little thing can't show what it is you did, so I have to look elsewhere to find that. So we welcome to the channel new members: Houston Aviation, Kurt Pope, Rodney Backoff, Mr. Woody, Ivy Gold 67, Serena Smith, Alexander Skinner, Cat Bravo, Red Hawks, Janelle Myers. All new members of Runway DFW. Thank you so much, Texas Girl. Yes, Honor.
Hey, has somebody ever called you while you're on stream before?
Yes.
Yeah, did it mess up the stream?
No.
That's always scary.
No. Usually my daughter or my grandson. So I don't know if you heard. Honor was wondering if I had ever been called while I was on the stream before, and the answer is yes. So Anna says, my 15-hour drive turned into nearly 20 hours yesterday. Oh.
Everybody can go ahead and get going.
That is long. Okay, well, have a great trip.
Alright, you too. See ya.
There goes Honor. Ruli Ramundo with a thumbs up. Thank you. And Rachel says, I love when younger people get excited about planes. That is very true. And, you know, the fact is that our audience generally skews kind of old. I mean, when I look at what YouTube tells me about our audience, most of our audience is, I would say, over 30. But there are exceptions, and we're happy to say hi to the young people of the metropolitan area. We got American Flight 3382 arriving from Austin here on the highway in the middle of Illinois. Shredded my tire, had to get a tow. that is there's a lot of debris on the highways. I don't know if this is a new thing or not, but yeah, I ran into some debris a few weeks back with a loaner vehicle from my car dealer, and it also shredded a tire. I didn't have to get a tow though, I was able to change it. So did we tell you what this was? I've lost all track of what's happening here. That was flight 3382 American Eagle coming in from Austin, Texas. Pace Setter 6 with a $10 super chat. Hello, Walton Mods from Sulphur Springs, Texas. Love the broadcasts and commentary. I appreciate that. Now we're on the lookout for the king of the skies. There is British Airways. The A380, the only A380 that we currently see here at this airport, and regrettably we won't be seeing it anymore after the end of this month, at least for the summer months, as we've talked about.
Flight that brought me home earlier.
So you were on that plane.
Yeah.
Did it come in a little late?
It came in 30 minutes early.
Oh, early, okay. Because it's leaving late. So Jennifer,
I know
Who-
the Brits won't be happy about that.
who is standing right here, she was on this very plane when it came in earlier this evening. There you see, I think that's the American plane in the background going off to Rio, if I'm not mistaken. And it's departing about almost an hour behind schedule, not quite. But yes, for those of you who are not in the know, British Airways will suspend its daily service to DFW at the end of the month. Not only will it not fly this plane here, but it won't fly any of its planes here for the summer months. So American, its One World partner, will have to pick up the slack, but that's a lot of seats that will no longer be available on non-stop flights between here and London.
I'll be on it on Sunday.
Adam Drawbaugh says, or wants to know if there's a top deck on that plane, and yes, there is. There is indeed a top deck on that plane. Of course, Flight Radar can give you a 3D view of aircraft that it calculates with, it's kind of like a video game almost. But that's kind of a look at what this plane is seeing, or would be seeing if it was daytime. Of course, it's nighttime here. You can kind of spin it around and look at it. Pretty cool. It's Flight Radar 24.
Oh, sorry. Want to advertise for you a little bit.
Oh, well, thank you. Cloudy is doing a little promotional video for us.
British Airways, PA 192.
I hear, we're going to swing around here. We only got one camera, so. Oh. A little late on this one. This is the Martinair coming in. A Super Cargo Master. Let me see if I can further identify that one for you. I think we're a little late for the little late for the 20th century, and so we give it a, let's give it a little, where's my, okay, here we go. 1988.
1988.
Now we're not talking about the MD-11. I don't think that one's that old. All right, let me get reorganized here. Oh, I know I haven't been hearing alerts. I didn't have the alerts turned on. Okay. Well, I'll hear them from now on. Mr. Phil says, I bet it was rough in that little plane. Rachel says, I love Flight Radar 24. It's made plane spotting even more fun for me. It really does fill in a lot of gaps. I mean, it's fun to watch planes, but to have that intimate knowledge of where they're going, where they've been, how long they've been in the air, all that kind of stuff. Let's see what we can see. Oh, we got some cargo going in over here. I imagine they got to be a little careful with those giant containers on a super windy night like this. Rachel says, here comes Qantas. Well, we like Qantas. Let's see, is this the Melbourne or the Sydney? Usually the Melbourne goes out first. Or is it coming in? Oh, it's going out to Sydney. No, I'm sorry, to Melbourne, flight 22. So let's see. Ah, there it is. There's that Dreamliner. Off on a very long journey. Almost 9,000 miles. some kangaroo, courtesy of Mr. Phil.
I'm heading out.
Okay,
Good to see you.
so good to see you again.
I will catch up with you
Yeah.
whenever you're back here.
Okay, thanks, Cloudy. There goes Cloudy. One of our channel members and a very nice person. M&J Butzer says, my wife and I made it back from Vegas. Good times. You did a great job of using flying out. Airbus A321neo, a great plane. Yeah, I got to fly on one of those last year on the way to Los Angeles. It was a very nice ride. Pull out here and welcome this UPS aircraft. So this flight 773 came in from Houston Intercontinental George Bush Worldwide Airport 767. And that plane is brand new as of last August. So we welcome a very gently used, almost new plane to the UPS stable over there. American Flight 1535 is arriving from Salt Lake City. It's an Airbus A321. Rachel says, I just saw that there's 35-mile-an-hour wind gusts there. Yes, we can feel them. Rachel, we really can. Where is my... There we go. And that's one reason we got kind of a pared down presentation tonight. We usually have 3 cameras at night, sometimes 4, but usually almost always 3. Today we only have 1 main camera and kind of just a cutaway camera. Annette Catley says, hi from Yorkshire, England. I'm really enjoying your show. Love the MD-11. Well, stick around, Annette, because we should be seeing at least one of them going out later in the broadcast. We'll be here for about another, well, if we can handle it, about another 2 hours. Gordon says, good evening. Nice to see you again in this London Heathrow-like weather. Jerry would be proud. Go on, son. I think Jerry's been in a lot worse than this. I gotta tell you. And of course, I was talking about Jerry of Big Jet TV, who we got to say hello to last year here at the plaza, when he made a special trip for his channel members. Kevin says UPS flight 7889 is coming in from El Paso, an Airbus A300. We will be on the lookout for that. I see yeah. No, wait, oh, it's diverting from El Paso. What? Let's see, so let's put this up on the screen here. So there's a Airbus A300, was on its way to El Paso from Las Vegas, but is coming in, diverting to here. Or is it just diverting? I'm not clear, but it's in the neighborhood here. And it looks like it's on a pathway to come here to DFW Airport. Yeah, it's making the turn. So it looks like we got a diversion. Smoke and Slice Barbecue says, Walt, I can't speak for everyone else, but this is better to me. It seems more relaxed. You mean without the air traffic control? Well, we'll see. James Moy says, good evening from Arkansas, just in time to see the Qantas flight head back to my hometown. Claire said she's getting a little buffering. But we're being buffered by the wind, I know that, but and we're not, I do have to say we're not on our regular connection tonight. So if we get continued buffering, I may have to pause and slow things down a little bit as far as our, bump it down to 720p instead of 1080p. Andrew says the UPS might be diverting here for maintenance facilities. Well, obviously we don't know what's going on. Here's the 3D look that we get from Flight Radar 24. Now, of course, in this case, it doesn't have the livery of the UPS plane. It's just kind of a generic A300 that is depicted. And I don't think the 3D option is available if you're just a free member of Flight Radar 24. I think you have to have a paid level to be able to access that function. Ron C says, I want 4K. Well, you're not going to get it tonight. Yeah, I've thought about 4K. 4K is, of course, a much higher resolution. Unfortunately, it means we have to send out, literally almost 4 times as much data, which kind of eats up our quotient, and it's more prone to issues because we're trying to do more with our connection. So we may do some experimentation with 4K. We have our equipment is capable of broadcasting 4K images, but so let's see where we are as far as so we're about to see this plane arriving. Again, this one is a diversion on a flight from Las Vegas to El Paso in Texas, which of course is west of here. So it made an extra effort to fly the extra distance that is required to get it to Dallas. Tyson Price says, I live in Sandy, Utah, about 10 miles south of downtown Salt Lake. I love airplanes. God loves you. May God bless you today and forever. I want to fly in a plane this year. Well, Tyson, I can't guarantee you that, but I hope you get your opportunity to. There's probably some. I mean, I don't know what your situation is. And we're kind of looking north to. Yeah, we're about a minute away from seeing this plane as we look north here. Again, this is an A300 UPS flight number 7889. It will be coming in from Las Vegas. It was to have landed in El Paso, Texas, but it has been redirected. Ascending Dragon 1 says, just looked at the latest METAR. Definitely the winds coming out of the west. Oh, the west at 28 knots, gusting to 49 with 1.5 miles and blowing dust. Okay, he's talking about in El Paso. Okay, I get it. So it was apparently a weather diversion for this flight, which wasn't a good situation to land. So now we have a better understanding. Thank you, Ascending Dragon 1, our official American Eagle pilot. So yeah, there's no emergency with this plane. It's just a diversion. Glad I wore my suction cup sneakers tonight. Otherwise, I'd be in Oklahoma by now. So everything looks good with that arrival. We've got American Flight 3351, American Eagle 3351, from Sarasota, Florida, coming up next. And this will be an Embraer 175, right here on Runway DFW. It's Runway DFW After Dark in the wind on a very, I'd say the word breezy is an understatement, evening here at Founders Plaza in Dallas, at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. What's this? Another super cargo master coming our way? This aircraft arrived in the last few minutes from Tyler, Texas. It's Martin Air Flight 648.
$19.94.
And it's a 31-year-old example of that aircraft. What do we have here? Oh, this is the here's the A300, which we saw coming in. Didn't make it to El Paso, apparently diverted due to weather conditions in El Paso, Texas. And thank you again, Ascending Dragon 1, for that helpful information. Jeff Phillips says, I hope the wind doesn't blow your camera over. Well, we have taken care to weigh this tripod down pretty much tonight. Batteries of about 5 pounds each. So that's about 20 pounds weighing it down. Plus, I'm standing right here, so if it starts to flip over, I'll be here to catch it, hopefully. So we got some packages on there that had been bound for El Paso, which are here. And I suspect they may be a little late in arriving. Tom B checking in from Louisville, which is where a lot of these planes come and go from. Anthony Guinan says there's high winds in the El Paso area. Well, they're pretty high here too, but maybe not as much. Happy Gamer Kid says really gusty over there in Dallas. I was going into Charlotte in January, and it was pretty bad. Wow, that's a big gust there. That arrival, American Flight 2851 from Hayden, Colorado, a 737-800. Skittles with a good evening. Hello, Skittles. Good to see you tonight. I'm sure she's now fully recovered from her travels to Australia, and I hope you did not get what our friend Kevin got as far as illness. Randy S says we got a blizzard warning in Nebraska, Omaha. Blizzard? Well, I don't know if you can tell here. We've got a couple of batteries here. We've got a weight over there, another weight on the front of the tripod here. So I think as far as that goes, we're we're okay as far as safety. American Eagle 3895 checking in from OKC, Oklahoma City, on that Embraer 175. Rocky Mountain Productions says, have you ever plane spotted at Denver Airport? I have not. I've been to Denver Airport, but it's been quite a while. Smoke and Slice Barbecue over there in Louisiana says the only blizzard warning we get here is from Dairy Queen. Hardy har har. Here's American 1104. It's off to Boise, Idaho. It's an Airbus A321. You know what we're gonna instead check out the aviation stylings of United Flight 1565. It's coming in from Denver, Colorado. It's an Airbus A319. We should be seeing it in our viewfinder very shortly. He said. Adam Drawbaugh says Wednesday to Thursday we're supposed to get snow in Iowa. And I guess it's still March, and I guess there are places in this big country where snow is still a thing as the official start of spring approaches. I guess in a couple of days now, isn't it? Let's see, today's the 18th. So it's this week. Well, when I put up the thumbnail for this broadcast, I did say it was going to be windy, and I guess that proved to be correct. Those of you who've been with us for a while are familiar with the temporary fence signs that have been attached to a temporary fence. There's one of them which has come loose from its mooring. It says area temporarily closed. And they put up this black chain link fence. I keep meaning to go back and look and see when this fence was actually installed. But it's come loose from its moorings there, has it not? That gives you a little indication of the wind velocity. It's almost going horizontal there. Teresa says Thursday morning, the first day of spring. Now, of course, there are those who, well, there's another way to define the first day of spring, and that is the meteorological first day of spring, which I believe is classified as the 1st of March, but I kind of go with the traditional one, which coincides with the equinox. Carlos Garcia says wind sustained as high as 48 miles an hour, gusting to 68. No activity at Albuquerque for over 3 hours when takeoffs and landings resumed. We had an Embraer 175 from LAX that went around twice and landed on the third try. So now the only thing about our situation tonight here is that the airplanes are landing into the wind. There's no crosswind to contend with. So at least there's that. Here goes American Flight 1164 from Kansas City, an Airbus A319 on runway DFW. We'll zoom out here and try to catch it as it comes in. Our next arrival, Flight 2602 from the American Airlines hub of Charlotte, North Carolina, an Airbus A321. That'll be next to arrive here. We say hello to Jimmy Henry in Paint Lick, Kentucky. MR Rice says the weather number at DFW is not working, Walt. Fort Worth Weather Service was saying the winds are at 38 miles an hour. Here's what Flight Radar 24 is saying. The temperature 79 degrees, wind pretty much out of the south-southeast at 25 miles an hour. And that's a sustained wind. I don't think that takes into consideration the gusts that we are having. Over there on the east side of the field, got a Dreamliner coming in from Philadelphia, flight 1115. Let's see if we can get that in our sights. There it is. That's as much of that as we could bring you. Simon 007 says hi from Oregon. And Ron says, yeah, 25 miles an hour between gusts. So it's for departures and arrivals. And as we've talked about, it comes from this Flight Radar 24, which is an app and also a website, flightradar24.com. And it's free to use. You can get basic information for free with ads, and we also have some paid subscription levels where you get some extra stuff, like how old planes are and extra information. That was a Frontier Flight 3212 with Pine, the red cockaded woodpecker livery. And I didn't really get a chance to see it. I was too busy trying to bring it into focus there. It's coming in from Los Angeles. That was an Airbus A321neo. It's a Frontier double play, flight 1951 with Sky the Blue Jay livery. Next up, This is an Airbus A320neo coming in from Orlando, Florida. So, the parade of Frontier planes for you. There it is, coming in from behind the shrubbery. Well, it's not that cold out here, but I am going to pop over to the automobile and get my hoodie, my windbreaker on. And how aptly named that is tonight. Thank you, Hans Olav Mork, for pushing the like button. Rodrigo Lopez Garcia says hello from the UPS ramp. We'll check in on those folks in a minute. Adam wants to know if the McAllen flight already left DFW. I do not know. And Skittles says, sorry everyone, still in my car driving home. Well, Skittles, be careful. I hope you're okay, and I'm going to, let's see. See, we'll point our camera over here. Look at some of the fine work of our UPS friends, and I'll put on a little bit of music while I go get my windbreaker. So please stand by for more action from Runway DFW After Dark.
Golden memories. Voice.
That was super difficult to put on when it's windy, but I think I got it all. Aviation Flights Photography says hi all. Quad Rippler greeting us from Sydney. Hello there, Quad Rippler. Rigoberto Juarez says good evening, Walt. And Andrew Templeton says, here comes my dad on the 777. Let me see if I can find that for y'all. Oh, I see it now. It's just about to launch off. We won't miss it. That is it. Tanya Vasur, one of our friends from over at UPS, says, I'm on the couch recovering from my surgery. Tanya, we hope everything is going well for you, certainly, and I know we're all thinking about you, and I'm sure your comrades over on the ramp are as well. Another very heavy gust. Hooey. Hyper Cosmic says, Walt, what's the coolest plane you have seen at DFW? And that would have to be the Antonov AN-124. Just an incredible looking plane. We have it here on our website. We're on our YouTube page as a separate video. I'm trying to keep from blowing over, and I'm trying to keep this camera from blowing over, because that would be not good. So here's the 777, which is destined for Buenos Aires. Mimi says good evening. Hello, Mimi. It was windy when I got here, but not quite like this. There you go. Andrew Templeton, I think it was, whose dad was on that plane. Safe travels. Quad Ripplers off for lunch on a Wednesday afternoon there in Australia. Glad you could spend a few minutes with us, Quad Rippler. Hope you'll check us out again. Well, this is probably a good time to say thank you to our Runway DFW viewers who make up our list of members. So at this time, we will take out the well, first of all, let's see what we got. Take the clock out. See what the weather is like. It puts up Burbank for some reason first, but okay, 78 degrees, winds 25 miles an hour out of the south, it says there. Gusting to 36, and that seems about right. Okay, so with that being said, put on some jazzy music, and we will say thank you to our Runway DFW membership family. The list, as always, starts out with James Webb, who is our official channel sponsor, and if you were here earlier, you saw he provided us with a $200 super chat. So thank you for that, James, and thank you for your ongoing support of Runway DFW. And I'd like to call out the names of our QuadJet channel members. That's what we're about to do right now. This list was prepared at noon today, so if you're a new member since then, I hope you'll tune in again to watch your name on an upcoming broadcast. So, QuadJet members, 757 Chip, Airplanes FRA, Alan J, Angela Smith, Anna the Dispatcher, after her harrowing trip from Ohio, Beaker and Honeydew, Bill Platt, Cubs Win, Deborah Klein, Dwayne C, James Webb, Josh Aldrich, Kevin D, Kirby Brooks Sr., KS Avgeek, Lori M, Michael Flannery, Michelle RS, Mike G, Netgear, Network, Patrick Wooters, Pete Nordine, Patheon, S35 Bonanza Pilot, Sarah the Real Deal, our friend Skittles, Steve Lundaby, Stuart Kircher, Texas Girl, who gave us 10 memberships earlier. Thank you again for that. The Grinch, TNT Oh My, and Will Hutchison. Those are our QuadJet channel members. Thank you. And now you will see the names of our Tri-Jet and Twin-Jet members on the channel. Thanks to each of you as well on Runway DFW. All right, let's see. We've got a UPS Airbus A300 backing out. You don't see it there, but I see it. Now you'll see it here on Runway DFW. There we go. This one's going to Ontario, California. It's a 19-year-old Airbus A300, which has just been freed of its tug. There it is on the flight radar. Flight radar doesn't bounce around like our camera does tonight. I can already predict what I'm going to say when I get in the car and out of this wind. I'm going to say, We have American Flight 1974 from Las Vegas, Nevada, making its way to see us. This will be an Airbus A321, and it's over there somewhere. There it is. Coming in right behind it, American Flight 3173 from Phoenix, Arizona, and Airbus A321 on a super windy Runway DFW After Dark. Whoa. Whoa! Now, if I see an old woman on a bicycle, that's a Wizard of Oz joke. What? Yipes. Well, we're still here, but just barely. There's that A300 making the turn. Our next arrival is American 2659 from Santa Ana, California. What kind of plane is that, you might ask? Well, it's a 737-800. Not quite in sight, but it's getting here. Smoke and Slice says, Walt, you might need to tether yourself to the pole. Tell me about it. And her little dog too, says Des. Yeah, Dale gets it. So the A300 was waiting for that plane to land. Want to get up? Go ahead, says Odd. You're having crazy wind when it's calm as a sloth here in Sweetwater, Texas. Tomorrow's supposed to be up to 50 miles an hour, though. No golf for me. Well, I mean, you know, if you were looking for distance and you were shooting with the wind at your back, I guess you could break some records there, but accuracy might not be a feature of a game on a day like this. Warren with Waz Radio says, hello, Runway DFW, good afternoon, Walt, mods, and friends from Sydney, where it, of course, is already tomorrow, Wednesday. Hello, Warren. Warren, a good friend of the channel, a good friend of aviation, who frequently gives shout-outs to his to aviation channels and Av Geeks on his radio show in Sydney on Saturday nights. Adam wants to know why the plane from El Paso diverted to Dallas. And as best we can tell from our friend Ascending Dragon 1, who's a pilot for American Eagle, the UPS plane diverted from El Paso because the conditions in El Paso were even more fraught than here, with high winds and dust. We don't have the dust today, or at least if we do, it's not very evident. And we've seen the tri-jet members of Runway DFW. Now we get a look at the twin jet members scrolling past you on the bottom of the screen. Again, the list prepared at noon today. Want to get up? Go ahead, says LOL, Walt. There are only 5 holes on my course where that northwest wind can make one a hero. I don't know, if it were here, you could probably just hold the ball up in the air and let it go, and it would sail away. So we're going to try to be here about another hour or so. We'll see what happens. Got a Delta Airbus A220 coming in from Salt Lake City. It'll be flight 2796. We'll see that in a couple of minutes. Carlos Garcia says winds up and down the Rio Grande corridor have been horrible today. It's around 130 mile an hour-ish winds on I-10 in New Mexico that were shut down due to the winds and dust storm. I saw some images from West Texas. This was yesterday or the day before, of 18-wheeler after 18-wheeler getting toppled in the wind as they were driving. They just kind of flopped right over on the passenger side. Rigoberto Juarez, welcome as a member of Tri-Jet. Or Twin Jet, I'm sorry. Thank you, Rigoberto, for becoming a member of the channel. Well, here goes the A300. It's been so long, I can't remember where it's going. Not my finest camera work, but there's that Delta plane coming in from Salt Lake as we said goodbye to the Airbus A300. Our next arrival, let me see if we got any departures here. Yeah, we have some, but it's more fun to look at the arrivals. But it's going to be American Flight 2368 from San Antonio, Texas, a 737-800. Sour Grape says, "Hi guys, I'm Walt, just stopping in. I'm sad I can't really stay, so thanks Walt for all the hard work. We're getting dumped on for the 4th time in Minnesota. And I'm assuming you're talking about snow, yeah?" Well, enjoy our little presentation here while you can be nice and safe and warm inside. That was American 30, no, sorry. Check that. American 2972 off to Kansas City, a 737-800. All right, let's see what we got here. Arriving from Destin Fort Walton Beach in Florida is American Eagle 3869 and Embraer 175. There somewhere. There it is. And we've completed our presentation of our channel members. Thanks again to all of you. We have, I believe, a Volaris Airbus A320. Oops. See, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do that. It's going to Mexico City. It is a flight 801. There's our second Qantas bird of the night. That one's going to Sydney. We'll check in on that momentarily. Can you feel the wind? Is it coming through the microphone and the camera? I think it probably is. All right, here comes the Flying Aroo, It's Qantas Flight 8 off to Sydney. It's a 7879 Dreamliner. Scheduled to go out at 9:25, and so it's pretty much on time, I would say. It's a 7-year-old Dreamliner. Qantas operates flights between here and Sydney and here in Melbourne. I may be getting a wind burn tonight. Not sure. It's a distinct possibility. Brian Svensson, thank you for an Australian $2 super chat. Hi Walt, shout out to Waz Radio and Meeting Skittles. I'm going to pause here for a special livery, American Airlines. That's the U.S. Airways livery. It's coming in from San Francisco, American Flight 1442 on that Airbus A321. I'm so glad I didn't set up my table tonight, because I'm pretty sure it would be a casualty of the wind. All right, off to Sydney we go. Well, we don't go, they go, but Smoke Slice says, your table would be in the land of Oz. I have no doubt whatsoever about that. Well, we don't yet have an MD for you to see, but we do have UPS Flight 773, a 767, off to Louisville. Another relatively new aircraft, a 4-year-old 767. You see a little more of it there. Did we tell you where this is going? Oh yeah, I think we did. To Louisville. I did not fail you in that regard. Hypercosmic says Delta 1207, that's the flight I took to DFW. It's coming in. Yeah, I see it on the radar. Coming in from the Motor City, an Airbus A320. It will probably come in on the east side. Smoke and Slice says, I know I'm raising my boys right when my oldest is in his room blaring Clint Black. Mariana, Texas says, the wind reminds me of the 4th when my daughter and I went to the Houston rodeo. It was so windy. How windy was it? That cowboy hats were being chased everywhere. Well, my hat would also be long gone if I didn't have a pair of headphones holding it firmly affixed to my noggin. Bryant Crosno, we congratulate him. Hey Walt, just started my CDL class today. I'm excited to get to drive big trucks. And that aforementioned Delta flight is indeed coming in on the east side of the airfield here. Well, let's see here. Give you something else to look at. We've got American 1797 going to Las Vegas. 737-800. Here on your home for airplanes and wind. Runway DFW in color. I meant to put on this actually, Runway DFW After Dark. You know, when I set up all this equipment, did I confuse Turkish with... Yeah, I think I did. When I set up all this equipment earlier, it was not quite as... It was still windy, but it wasn't quite as windy as this. I'm now worried about tearing it all down. Here you see the shadow of the chain link fence. There's an E-Jet arriving from Houston Intercontinental George Bush Worldwide Airport in Houston. Oh. So we talked about that Kalitta Air 777 freighter that we see on our thumbnail today. There it is. It is lit up on the radar now. It's headed back to Anchorage. And so we should be seeing that shortly. Also, a DHL plane has just come in. DHL operated by Aerologic. know how much of this we're going to see, if we're going to see it at all. It came in on the east side. I didn't notice it when it came across the taxiways. But it's a 777 freighter. 3-year-old 777 freighter. Came in from Toronto. And it should be down in that vicinity somewhere, but I don't know if we're going to get to see it. Because it may turn into the west cargo area before. There's another cargo area south of the American Airlines hangars, which in turn are south of the UPS facility here. So, thought I'd try to see it, but I don't know if we're going to get to see it. I see some flashing lights, but that's not it. Oh, I think I see the tail. Do you see the tail there? It's a little bouncy. But there's the HL 777 freighter. I think that's about all we're going to get to see of it, unless it turns, we can get a little side shot of it. But we get a little bonus here. That is a Saab, I believe, in the Amerijet livery. Is that right? Well, let's spin around here. Oh, sorry. To get the Turkish Streamliner leaving for Istanbul. Kind of escaped our attention. If you're just joining us, it's very windy here at DFW tonight. That accounts for the extra wind noise. Our setup is not quite as robust. Not quite as robust as we normally have here. We've just got one tripod, one camera. Well, two cameras, but only one camera that we can focus in on aircraft with. We've got now the UPS 767 headed to Louisville. looking for a plane right now. I'm not finding it. I'm looking for that Saab. Saab 340B. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Is that it? There it is. But first, Air Canada. Air Canada, Air Canada. Yes, my my camera work today will not be winning any awards. There's Air Canada flight number 1033 coming in from Montreal, Toronto on that Airbus A220. Now, I was going to try to find that Saab. Where's that Saab? There it is. It's kind of in the shadows there. It's a Mira flight. Flight number 7143. We'll give that a little salute.
1989.
It's just a little hard to see. Okay, I think we can now bring you the Kalita Air 777 freighter, which is headed back to Anchorage. Flight number 938. A 12-year-old aircraft. Ralph Woodard says, now that's real dedication. Well, can't believe you're out there in that wind. You should come here to Colorado Springs where we're having a snow squall right now. Fun stuff. Yeah, we usually get a touch of snow like maybe once a year here in this part of the world. And we are totally unprepared for it, of course. So there's that almost plain Jane Kalita Air. It's got the Clitta Air insignia to the aft of the cabin. That's about it. Aside from the N number somewhere there on the rear of the fuselage. And because this is going to Anchorage, we would expect it to take off here on the west side of the airport. Is it possible to get winded from being in the wind? Hey, there's the random spotter. Hello, Luke. Good to see you. Brian Svensson says awesome winds. I think this is probably the windiest it's ever been when I've been here. And if I've been coming here for, well, not quite 3.5 years. And I've seen some wind, but this seems to be the most consistent wind I've experienced here. So I apologize for the. I'm sure the audio is not fun to listen to. And I'm doing the best I can with the camera, but it's rocking. Random spotter saying hello to Brian Svensson. Telly NZ says the latest METAR from DFW tells me that the wind is from direction 170 degrees with a speed of 22 knots, wind gust of 36 knots. Skittle says my evening has suddenly improved. I've upgraded from driving in my car to now sitting in it. Just got home. For those of you, our regular viewers know that Skittles has quite the commute on to her job and back and around the Great Northwest. So yes, you are entitled to just kind of chill out there, Skittles. I do that too sometimes when I get home from one of these broadcasts. I'll just put the car in the garage, push the button, close the door, and just sit in my car for a few minutes. Kind of decompress. Mimi says the audio is perfectly fine. Well, I'm listening to it through my headphones, but my headphones don't shield all the wind noise. And so I'm hoping it's okay. We usually have a secondary microphone that we put out there to get the natural sounds of the airport, but tonight we do not have that. Another thing we're not going to have tonight is Chatstravaganza because everything is attached to our single tripod here. So I hope you weren't looking forward to Chatstravaganza. I apologize for that. It's one of those deals where I'm just going to try to throw everything in the car and get out of here. This is that Kalitta Air 777 on its way back to Anchorage. Remember, you're just with a $2 super chat asking the musical question, where is that Frontier flight from? We saw that kind of coming in right before that 777 took off, and I did not give you the information. Let's see if we still even see it out there on the taxiway. We probably should. There you go, Emery. It's flight 2343 with Chocolate the Moose on the tail. I don't know if we're going to be able to get you a good view of Chocolate the Moose. Came in from Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. An Airbus A320neo. Whoa. I let go of the tripod handle for a second, and it had a mind of its own. Want to get up, go ahead, said I spoke too soon. The wind just hit with 30-mile-an-hour gusts. Let's see, what is that just went through our viewfinder there? An Airbus A319 off to Guadalajara, American flight 2063. Let me unlock things and see if we can get that departure. Spokane Slice wants to know if I got blown away. Not yet. But stay tuned. Could still happen. This American Airlines 737-800 is on its way to Omaha, Nebraska. Flight 2628. I think that was it. Smoked Slice Barbecue says, I lost all coverage. My total screen went black. That's why I was asking. The only thing I had was the chat. Has anybody else had that issue? I'm not seeing anything at this end, which is a miss, but there's a lot of links in the chain between here and where you are. Dale Helton says, well, we've reached the point where it's time for me to go to bed. Good night, all. Good night to you, Dale. Thank you for spending some time with us on Runway DFW. You kind of saw the bottom end of a Spirit plane coming in from Las Vegas there. Hello.
I was just wondering what you were doing.
I have a YouTube channel called Runway DFW, and we're live.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Here's a look, even though it's late at night here, there's still a lot going on at the big airport. Coming in from the north, American Flight 3185 from Los Angeles, Airbus A321. So we had a young mother with a child just inquiring as to what the heck are you doing over there? Here comes that flight from LAX on Runway DFW. I think we're going to wind things down. I'm going to look at if we have anything coming in of a serious nature in the next few minutes. And if not, we may just start to pack things up here. I was hoping we get at least one MD-11 tonight. Let me look over there and see what's going on. Well, here's one of them. See here. No, it looks like the tri-jets are not scheduled to have any activity until early morning on Wednesday. So we'll just have to admire them in static mode here. Dayhawk 001 says, hang in there, Walt. Uncle Plane Guy says, hey Walt, how are you? Did you see Spirit will have DFW to Indianapolis and Los Angeles to Indianapolis? I did see that. Spirit was adding some flights. So we'll get to see some yellow birds betwixt here and the Circular City. Jerry Federigos says, good evening, all watching from New Jersey. First time checking out DFW. Can't believe the number of runways. He says, I counted, there it is. No, that's not right. Here we go. I counted 7. That's in both directions. Crazy. Yeah, we have a visual aid for that. Jerry, there it is. We got 3 runways on the runways are outlined in yellow there. 3 on the west side where we are and 4 on the east side. And we're in South Flow tonight, and there's how they're all designated. And as always, we are at the north central part, well, kind of just to the left of north there, where our Runway DFW logo is located. And we'll get another look at the map, this one from Flight Radar 24. We have a UPS Airbus A300, another one backing out. This one also going to, well, this one going to Chicago Rockford International Airport. It's kind of way back there. But there is the tail. And as you can see, it's behind a fence. American Flight 7 is just about ready to head to Brisbane, Australia. It's a 7879 Dreamliner. We will flip camera 1 around. And here it comes. If we make it that long. There's Uncle Plane Guy letting us know about that. Sea Freaks Trains and Train Games says Runway DFW, when I landed on Sunday, we came in on 17 left, I think. It's the first time, even though I've flown through DFW dozens of times. Well, it depends on where you're, if you're going to a destination on the East Coast, typically you would land on the east side of the airport, or if you're coming from the East Coast, and vice versa. If you're coming from like Los Angeles, typically you'd land over here on the west side, but that doesn't always happen that way. Said felt like we landed at Love Field and taxied to the terminal from there. So I imagine your terminal was perhaps maybe on the west side, because that can happen if you have to go across the bridge to get to your terminal. That does add to your ground travel time. So once again, this is Flight 7. It is going to Brisbane, Australia. There it is on the radar. And I'm going to declare that this will be our last plane of the night. All I would need now is for them to turn on the sprinklers. I don't anticipate that happening, but now the good thing is everything's on one tripod here, so I can just pick up and move out. But please no sprinklers tonight. MR Rice says good night, Walt. Good night to you, MR Rice. Good to see you as always. Adam Drawbaugh with a thank you for the stream. Thank you, Adam. Hopefully the next time we come to you, which will be later this week sometime, the winds will have died down a bit and we can kind of have a more relaxed stream. I feel very on edge tonight. Like I feel like everything's gonna tumble over at any moment, including me sometimes. So if you're just tuning in as we get ready to depart, this is American flight number 7 to Brisbane, Australia. American's longest, furthest destination from here. It's an 8,300 mile journey with an average flight time of 15 and a half hours. So settle in, you Brisbane-bound passengers. We may well get photobombed by that A300 UPS plane, which is now taxiing over to runway 18 left. And there it is. Thank you, Emma. You're just for that $2 super chat saying good night. Got to go. Well, I got to go too, Emre. But I certainly do appreciate your kind contributions to our efforts here tonight. A300 waiting for clearance to cross 18 right, which it has received. Okay, we'll hang around and watch this plane take off. What the heck? So you can't really, I mean, you can see my hood blowing in the wind there, but it's hard to get a good, and we can go back to this sign here. Where'd it go? There's the sign on a swivel there, and it's pretty much horizontal to kind of give you an indication. That's a big sign too. That's what, about 4 feet across by 3 feet tall, perhaps, something like that. Brian Svensson says, would love to see you on that American Airlines flight to Vegas one day, Walt, to meet up with Wellington Flights Live Kevin soon to tour Brisbane and then travel down to Sydney for Spotterfest. Australia's on my to-do list. And New Zealand as well, so... Local Boy 808 says aloha from Hawaii. Hello to you. Jerry Federico says a substitute for a windsock. Yeah, that. In fact, one of our viewers favored us with a windsock, a small windsock. There's no way I could deploy it in this wind. It would be long gone. Well, sorry, no no MD-11s tonight. No 747s for us. Couple of A300s. And we got the A380 earlier. 777s, Dreamliners. All in a night's work. Dalton Dwight says, stay longer, there's a 747 coming in. I know, Dalton, there is. But I don't see it on my immediate radar. And the number of flights do dwindle. Even though when you look at Flight Radar, you say, well, there's still a lot of planes there. And that is true, there are. But it's time for your friend from Runway DFW to check out for the night. We gotta see if we can pack all this stuff up in the wind, which is going to be a challenge in itself. Well, there's a final look at the skyline there. As we get ready to bid you adieu. Nikki and Gary, our newest subscribers, thank you for that. But you know what that music means. That means we're about to say goodnight. So, thank you ever so much to our channel sponsor James Webb for his gigantic contribution in the form of a super chat tonight. Thank you to all of our channel members whose names you saw scroll across the screen earlier this evening. Thank you especially to our Runway DFW Moderation Federation for making sure this is a nice, calm, relaxing and engaging place for people to hang out and feel safe. We'll be back later this week with another edition of Runway DFW. Until then, happy contrails to you until we meet again.
and promotional consideration furnished by Pan American World Airways, the world's most experienced airline. Pan Am makes the going great. This is Dick Tufeld speaking.